Ever since Better Call Saul was unceremoniously cancelled in 2022, one unanswered question has plagued the minds of fans. Many theories have been crafted, but no solid answers have been found. Until now. Today, we'll finally be answering the most important question in the entire Breaking Bad universe. What did the forbidden light switch at Davison, Maine actually do? Let's start with the facts. In Season 2, Episode 1, appropriately titled Switch, Jimmy, by the end of the episode, decides to accept a job at the law firm Davison, Maine. Upon entering his new office, Jimmy notices a light switch with the printed text, "Always leave on, never turn off," taped on top. Jimmy, being a bumbling fool who can't read, decides to flip the switch. But nothing happens. Obviously, the switch would have to do something. Why else would there be a label to keep it on? But exactly what it does has always remained one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time. There might be a few obvious possibilities that come to mind. The first being that the switch is connected to lights in another room, or that the switch is connected to HVAC, or some power outlets running appliances. However, upon closer inspection, it's unlikely that the switch is connected to any lights. Davison, Maine are so ego-conscious that they don't even flush their toilets. If Clifford Maine found out that any lights were being left on all night, he would throw a fit. So unless someone comes into Jimmy's room every day to turn them on and off, we can safely rule out this possibility. Option 2 has the same problem, that is, unless the HVAC system is computer controlled to shut off automatically each night. This might seem appealing at first, but once you consider that the show takes place in 2002 before computers were invented, this seems unlikely. Option 3 might seem the most likely, given that these appliances wouldn't draw power if they were turned off. But given how often a thriving law firm uses appliances like printers, as soon as Jimmy flipped the switch, someone would have bolted directly to his office to lay into him. It seems we need to go deeper. The location of the Davison, Maine building is a library in Albuquerque. Using images and satellite photos as reference, we can try to construct a map of the facilities in-universe. Based on what we see outside the windows in Jimmy's office, it's likely that he's located right here. Unfortunately, this doesn't make any sense. It's too close to the lobby, and it's implied that Jimmy walks through at least a few rooms before he enters his office. However, we can still get some hints from this. The library is over 100 years old, and it's likely the wiring has been redone several times. Given the size of the rooms in the building, it's also likely that the firm built new walls when they moved in. This makes the earlier possibilities seem even less likely. The switch must have been placed there intentionally when Davison, Maine renovated the building. Once you realize that, it all becomes clear. He orchestrated it, Clifford. He'd heard all about Jimmy's rebellious nature from Howard, and he had to test it himself. When he offered the job to Jimmy, he had a light switch installed in his future office, and specifically printed a label saying not to touch it. We can see in the next episode that Cliff's office is directly adjacent to Jimmy's. The only possible conclusion is that the light switch is directly wired to a red warning light under Clifford Maine's desk. When Jimmy flipped the switch off, it actually turned on the light in Clifford's office, revealing Jimmy's inability to follow simple instructions. This makes Jimmy's unauthorized airing of the commercial even more tragic. Clifford should have known Jimmy would do something like this, but he ignored his own test, hoping that Jimmy could change. And with that, we finally get a wrap on the last loose thread in the Breaking Bad universe. Bravo, Vince.